So you've been overpaying for meat and produce and you're sick of it. Now, some of these hacks are going to be known, but I'm actually going to be including some couponing tips for my beginner couponers as well. And I'm going to put my spin on it. So even if you heard them before, they're still my secrets. All right, guys. So the number one thing that I hear in most of my classes and or workshops is, how do I save on meat and produce? Meat and produce are what? What's the most expensive thing on your grocery list? I'll wait. Okay, you might not put in the comments below because I'm going to give you the answer, but I want you to say it out loud. So I'm giving you some time to think about it. And most people, your answer is going to be meat and or produce. Some people don't even eat meat. Some people probably don't even eat produce. Learn to shop around seasonal sales cycles. And this goes for meat and produce. So let's quickly cover both. So you want to buy your fresh fruits and produce in terms of when it's in season. Why? Because you're going to find a better price. I want you to start paying attention to produce and when they're in season, and you're going to start seeing the price differences. Like, in fact, I have a seasonal sales guide. I'm going to put the link below. Check the comment section and get that guide. So anyway, guys, you want to know what's a good price per item, per pound, per bag when it comes to your meat and your produce. Oh, I forgot to mention also frozen bags of veggies, which some people actually still buy. They actually don't seem to always follow that seasonal sales guide. It's kind of more or less the brand. So if Hanover is having a good sale this week at ShopRite, Kroger, or Publix, or wherever you shop, then that's the sale, and that's part of a whole different sales cycle that we're not even going to get into today. So whether it's Hanover, whether it's Pick Sweet or Bird's Eye, with frozen foods in the bags, it's kind of going to differ a little bit. So you just want to get the rock bottom price for your frozen foods in the bag. Meats actually follow a seasonal pattern as well. Based on holidays and seasons, meats typically will go on sale. You ever noticed around Easter how ham has really good sales? Stock up on those meats because usually when they're tagged to be at their rock bottom or lowest price, typically half off or even better. I want to share a few more tips with you when it comes to meat. Avoid buying pre-packaged and or cut meats as much as possible. So like if they're taking off the skin or they're cutting it up or they're doing any type of special things to the meats, you're always going to pay a little more. If you're buying like whole chickens or whole portions, you're actually going to save more on your meat, and you can cut it up yourself, divide it, put it in Ziploc bags. And yes, it does take a little more time, but we're all about the savings here. So when it comes to produce and meat, you also want to stock up. And here's my trendy savings tip or rule of thumb when it comes to meat. If it's a good sale, buy more than one. If it's a great sale, stock up. And if it's a rock bottom price, buy enough to last you until that next big sale cycle. That was number 2. Let's move on to the third way to hack your meats and produce. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't help it. Make sure you are price matching and comparison shopping. Now, I have not gone over with a fine-tooth comb all of the changes when it comes to price matching at various stores, and there have been a lot of changes. That's going in the bloopers. So let's talk a little bit about comparison shopping. And it can be as easy as looking at your paper ads. That's like the old school way. So whatever sales ads and papers come to your house and or that you grab right from your local grocery store or department store, you can just look at a few of those at one time and compare the prices. You just kind of go through the ads and see what meat and produce are on sale, because you need to know your meat and produce that's on sale. Because why? We said it earlier in the video. It's most likely the most expensive items or within your grocery budget. So you want to just go through and kind of circle all the meat deals and maybe even put a little square or star by the produce deals. And then if you think it's a decent price and or you're using my guide, after you mark up all the papers, just see who overall has the better prices. Because again, you don't want to run from store to store either. So if you can pick at least one store or at least 2 out of the 3 and 4 that you look at, that'll help you. Now that's the old school way. An easier way would be to use these savings apps. Actually allow you to comparison shop and or use your computers and things like that, because it can be very time consuming to do it either way, to be honest. But you need a way that works for you that actually saves you time, because we're all about saving time and money, honey. All right, so you can use the Flip app, you can use the Basket app, you can actually use your own grocery stores app. I love to use ShopRite because it actually shows my grocery list right within their app, and even actually on my computer, and it shows how much it's going to cost me. Because their digital coupons are linked to it, all I have to do is look for my other manufacturer coupons and subtract them from that final price within my shopping list, and I know how much I'm going to pay for my groceries. There are other price matching and comparison apps, Shop Savvy, Offers.com. Shucks, you can even use Amazon's barcode scanner and different things. So the fourth way, and maybe even the preferred way for many people to save on meat and produce, is to actually buy it at the farmer's market, especially when it comes to produce. You still need to know your prices because they overcharge there too. And every piece of produce isn't going to be on sale at the same time. But overall, they have pretty good prices and decent prices. Plus, you can do a little bit of bargaining at the flea market, especially if you go just before they're about to close. Just gave you a little trendy savings tip / nugget. That is a good way to actually start to strengthen your bargaining skills. A lot of times when they're closing up, and that's with anybody at the flea market, they're trying to get rid of what they have for that day. And so if you want to negotiate, that's probably a good time, and not so much at the beginning of the day. Let's get into number 5. Yes, guys, we're moving pretty quickly, right? Bet you didn't think so because I typically take really long in these videos. Another secret hack that I like to use, and you may and or may not have heard of this, but if you sign up to your favorite brand's websites, they will often alert you when there's a sale and or coupons available because they're going to help you drive down your price of produce for that week and or for that month. Now, if you actually follow them on social media, whether it be Twitter, I'm not a big Twitter person, or whether it be Facebook, which many of you are all over Facebook. I see you. I see y'all. They will also begin to advertise to you things that you actually want to see. Because you ever notice if you like click on something one day, not even on Facebook, suddenly it's like in your Facebook feed for like months and months. Yeah, well, anyway, if you guys start to look at your brand's Facebook pages and like them and sign up, you'll start to see more things that you actually want to see within your Facebook feed. So why not take advantage of that so that you can actually see sales and deals that relate to you? So again, you're going to sometimes get coupons. In fact, a lot of times when you go to their site, you'll see coupons that you can clip right away, especially if you're like an organic eater. There are a lot of new sites. There are a lot of brands and organic sites that actually give you coupons. Because remember I told you earlier, many people think there's no coupons for produce. Well, there are some, especially these organic companies. They're starting to do it more and more. So places like Earthbound and some other sites that I can't think off the top of my head actually have coupons. Either they will be emailed to you once you sign up, and or you can actually check their site every now and then and see them right away. I think I told you guys this a while back when we were talking about ways to get coupons, both free and paid ways, that you can write to these companies and tell them how great their products are, like literally brag on their products, and or if you have an issue, a real issue, guys, a legitimate issue, write to them and they'll often send you coupons. I mean, sometimes they'll actually send you free products, but most of the time they'll send you coupons and or discounts or some way for you to save because they want to keep you as a customer. Like they see that you're loyal and they want to keep you as a customer. Go ahead and try that out too and let me know how it goes. Oh my God, we're already on number 6. You will not believe how many people tell me they can't find coupons for meat or produce, or they just simply think coupons don't exist for those items. Well, if you're not actually getting coupons every week, or you're new to this thing but not true to this thing, you probably will be on the struggle team. Meaning, like, you're not going to actually see the discounts and the savings and the deals unless you're doing this thing every week. So you want to make sure you're getting a Sunday paper, that's for my newbies, and or once you're comfortable, you're ordering inserts and or coupons from a clipping site or a fairy every single week, because they're going to change. And sometimes you're going to have to dig into those archives. Like that means get some coupons from last month to get a deal for this week. You get what I'm saying? A lot of times I find my meat and produce coupons from other inserts from other months or other weeks. And it's not just going to perfectly fall into your lap just because you decided to purchase coupons that week. But they do exist. I'm telling you, I don't know how many times or how many months I see Purdue chicken coupons. And if you're somebody who likes to prepackaged meats and things like that, Tyson's has tons of coupons on their fish sticks and chicken fingers and all those things you guys buy for your kids all the time. There's ways to get coupons for prepackaged frozen meats. There's ways to get coupons for vegetables. Remember we talked earlier, Hanover, Pick Sweet, all of those, they commonly have coupons out, but you got to stay with it and you got to stay committed. So yes, coupons for meat and produce do exist. They exist, y'all. They there. You got to see them. Look for them. Look out every week. You want to make sure that you're actually matching your coupons to a good sale. Everything that they say on sale is not on sale. So a good sale so that you can get at least a rock bottom price. Now, when you want to get really savvy, you might want to join a class, but whether you join a class or whether you decide to struggle and learn by yourself like I started out, long road. You want to understand how coupons double, where they double, when they double, how to stack coupons, and how to take advantage of your store promos and sales so that you can actually become not an extreme couponer, but a very strategic shopper, and they still get things for really cheap and free. You know our motto, 50 cents or less, free is best on a lot of items. You don't have to be extreme to get extreme savings. Got it? All right, let's move on to number 7. That's not a 7. That doesn't look like a field goal post. Stretch your meats. Once you understand and realize your meat doesn't have to be the center of every meal and you can sort of treat it like a side instead of the entree, you're going to save big. So we're going to talk about stretching your meat in 2 different ways. You can stretch your meat throughout the actual meal that you're serving by simply making dishes like pastas and stews. What kind of pasta you talking about? So like if you're making like chicken Alfredo, you're not going to use up a whole ton of meat unless you just simply do, but you can monitor how much meat. You can literally take some of those whole meats that I told you to chop up and Ziploc and refreeze again. You can take just maybe 1 bag of that and like cut it up and or buy a smaller portion of chicken breast that cost you way less and chop those up and just sprinkle meat into your pasta. You can use stews and soups and broths and spaghetti because that's common, and that kind of gives you that idea of like literally just sprinkling meat into your meal. Now, I mean, I don't literally mean sprinkling, but what I mean is like the meat is not a separate portion. Like everyone gets a drumstick, everyone gets a wing, and then you're literally buying meat per person in your household. That can get really costly. Now, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying throw away all of your habits because some of them are enjoyable and some of them are things that your family's used to. But don't do it every day. Stop doing it every day. Start having some meatless nights. Like, make it cute. Do some themes. We were talking about this recently in my savings club. Do meatless Mondays. You know, do some other meals where it doesn't require meat, and or the sprinkle in. Taco Tuesdays. You get my drift? And again, you want to buy meats in whole parts. Cut them, skin them, whatever you need to do to make it suitable for you. Separate them, bag them, and do it according to your meal plan for that week. Yes, you should be meal planning. No, I'm not judging you. Oh, wait, I already went into my other ways of stretching your meat before I announced it. Well, anyway, let's go to the next way. So you can also stretch your meat by doing what I just said, like literally using, literally taking 1 pack or 1 package or 1 portion, splitting it up and using it throughout the entire week. And how do you do that? You literally plan your meals around that meat. So you might use some of that meat for breakfast. So you might want to take sausage and make it maybe on a Saturday morning when you have some more time for breakfast, and then take that same sausage, chop it up and put it in your spaghetti, or use it for lunch and make sausage sandwiches. I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head. But if you actually sit down and plan it, you can come up with some really cool stuff. Like all kinds of crock pot ideas are starting to come to my head about sausage. But let's move on. The point is you want to stretch your meats. You want to literally stretch them to where you're repackaging them, and you want to literally stretch the meat throughout the week and or maybe the month, because it may be something you just use this week and it's in good enough shape, and or you can reuse it the next month, especially if you're buying something like a whole turkey. Oh my gosh, the ideas just keep coming, but I don't want to be here forever. I want to make sure you guys are able to watch this entire video, utilize some of these ideas, come back in these comment sections and let me know how it worked out. In fact, you can comment right now. Let me know if you're already doing some of these hacks. Let me know if this was helpful or if something you never thought about, whatever. We're going to talk in the comments below, so make sure you're in the comments below. Don't run yet. Well, at least not until you like this video and subscribe to this channel. That way you can come back. All right, you can subscribe now. I'll wait.
A few moments later.